Hello everyone, this is Martial Arts An Inside Look. I'm here today with Derek Shaw, the instructor of Wuxing Tao. Derek, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me, thank you.
What can you tell us about your academy?
Well, we are about 10 years old this November.
That's incredible.
It's pretty exciting. We've had dozens of students. I'm happy to say we've had a lot of students come through and come and go, and it's helped them in their lives. It's helped me in my life as well, having people come and learn from me and me get to learn from them as well.
Of course. And what's your favorite part about being an instructor?
I love to teach. I absolutely love teaching. It's a part of who I am as a person. So being able to be around other people and being able to impart knowledge that they may not have access to. They may have access to it, but they may not be able to apply themselves correctly. And being able to give them the avenue to do that is something I really enjoy.
Awesome. So approximately how many students have you taught over the years?
It's probably been about probably about 24, I'd say, at this point.
That's awesome.
The school is fairly new. It actually founded 10 years ago, so having 24 students at this point is actually pretty decent.
Yeah.
So.
And what would you say is your favorite part about the martial art itself?
Well, thinking about it, I like being able to condition myself, knowing that as long as I continue to do my stretches and do my forms and my techniques, that my body is going to stay conditioned, that I don't have to worry about whether I'm going to be sick or not. If I do get sick, it's very short-lived.
And what would you say that your martial art is preparing people for?
Well, there's a number of different things that any martial art is designed for. Certain martial arts are sport-based, so it's going to teach you, the joys and conflicts of competition. As far as my school goes, we don't do a lot of competing in tournaments or events like that. We more focus on real-life applications, what you're going to actually find and see in the streets. And by in the streets, I don't mean like two guys deciding that they're going to come to fisticuffs. Usually when you're out in the real world, you don't know that something's coming. You're being ambushed, you're being assaulted.
Yeah.
And the techniques that we use here, even though they are traditional in context, they are very applicable in real life scenarios.
And my last question for you, what does your martial art emphasize, and why should students pick your martial art over another?
I really feel like any martial art's good. You should, if you find something that really works for you, do that thing. What I think people can take away from my martial art that other martial arts don't sometimes offer is your availability of understanding the entire spectrum of movement. Where some martial arts focus on linear combat, or they focus on angles, or they focus on ground, clinch, or other styles, our style covers all of it. You work from the ground up, you work legs, you work kicks, you work striking, you work clinch, you work ground. Pretty much anything that encompasses combat is in Kung Fu. Not just my Kung Fu, but multiple styles of Kung Fu. So for someone wanting to try out either my school or another style of Kung Fu, it's going to help you to understand pretty much anything that comes at you as far as martial combat is
Okay.
designed.
And the last thing that I will ask you, would you like to demonstrate your favorite move within your style?
I have a number of favorite techniques. There's so much to it that it's hard to just come up with one singular technique. But there are a few that I really enjoy using. And in that, the simplicity of my style allows for you to be able to be quick and effective. If you would, facing me.
Of course.
Thank you. We'll come to an asking hand. The asking hand is basically where we meet in a middle guard here. So there's hands on the back of my hand, and this is just for pressure. So that I can feel where he's at, he can feel where I'm at. Obviously, in a real life scenario, we're not going to start a combat situation like this because we're not here. It's going to be in a different way. But for our purposes, I like to be able to clear a hand in 3 different ways. I like to be able to go either under a bridge, I like to be able to take the bridge down, or I like to be able to cross a bridge. I very much enjoy crossing a bridge because it allows me to actually manipulate my opponent. So whenever I take a hand down and then I move my arm across, it brings the head down. When it brings the head down, it brings my other hand closer. Right? I can control different joints. I can move from down to up. I bring this hand down. So when we come here, I can bring his head close to me while I still maintain my structure. In combat situation, if a punch comes in, I can do that same technique with an actual punch coming in, right? There's a kick that I enjoy doing. If you want to take a step back, I'll do it. It's an aerial kick. You can do this forwards or back. You have to start with the knee coming up here, and the kick comes across. It's actually a lateral kick, right? So I'm not kicking in front of me, I'm kicking what's beside me. So I'm guarding here, and throw a couple punches, and then here comes somebody from beside, right? Punch here, and I can actually kick to the side of them, right? In the same context, I can do forward with this same leg. The knee will come up, but it'll come out to the side. I'll sit, and I'll kick in that way. It's just a fun couple of things you can do. It's hard to apply in actual combat whenever you're right here and close, but for the sake of actually still being able to do the techniques, right? Person throws a punch, and here I hit. I can do that outside kick there. If I pass him by, throw. Almost lost my hat. Oh, you should have stayed there. It'll land on your head. It's all good. Anyways, that's what I have for my techniques.
All right.
Hopefully you enjoyed it.
And this has been Martial Arts, an Inside Look. Thank you for joining us.